Welcome, everyone. This is Blind Magic in Alice Springs, and it's episode 1230. And I am your presenter and host. Okay, so last week, I think it was Thursday, or was it Friday, Hayley? You tell me. When did I see Dr. Angela?
Friday.
Friday, okay. So on Friday, I met up with my neurologist, Dr. Angela, in order to find a solution to my current malaise, where I simply cannot sleep at night, and therefore I need to sleep during the day because, in line with medical advice, don't fight tiredness, because if you do, you are very likely to end up with a seizure, as that is absolutely one of the big triggers for seizures, is overtiredness, and that's certainly what you get if you're not able to sleep during the night. So what did Dr. Angela advise? Well, I've actually been dropped back to 800 milligrams of Tegretol, which is the anti-seizure medication. That is back from 900. And she's also prescribed some low-level medication to deal with my need for sleep at night and also to deal with any anxiety. So hopefully that will mean that I will get sufficient sleep during the night, enabling me to have a day. Oh yes, to have a day. Because that is the essence of life, isn't it? To be able to do the things that you like to do and you want to do, and perhaps you even need to do during the day. That's always been me, but it hasn't been me lately, and that has really dragged me down. Yes, it has. Well, time to get up, and time to deal with this problem. As I said, when you've got obstacles, you've got to navigate a way around or through the problem, which is exactly what I intend to do. And once the additional medication arrives, that certainly will assist in the process. But today, on Monday, I am feeling a little stronger. I slept okay last night. I think I slept through till about maybe 1:45, which, believe it or not, is a relatively good sleep for me in the current circumstances. So it is what it is for a while. I've got training again tonight with the athletes. That's going to be at 6:30, so that's going to be a little difficult, which will require another nap in the afternoon. But at least if I can be productive this morning, and one of the things that I really wanted to do was to communicate with all of you. That's right, all of you, and in recognition that we all have a battle. We do. Mine will be overcome, and so will yours. And one of the mechanisms for me, of course, probably the main mechanism for me, is to place this situation in the hands of Christ. Yeah, I lifted myself before him this morning. I know he knows what I'm going through, so I've asked him to give me and those around me the wisdom to get through this until this prescription arrives. And already, having prayed, I feel better. It works, folks. Prayer does work, I can tell you. As I've always said, no username, no password, straight through to the Lord. And you just then experience the magic. Yeah, the Lord knows everything. He knows absolutely everything. So when you place your issues before the Lord, no point in telling him an untruth, because he knows. He knows the truth. And he will fix your problems if you throw those problems toward him. You engage with him. and sincerely engage with him, which is exactly what I've done this morning. And yes, I do. I absolutely feel better now. So I've got a fair bit to do today. But the one thing I know is that Alice Springs is a place of safety, is a place where we are not getting the incredibly poor weather that is now confronting those in tropical Queensland. I spoke to my daughter yesterday, and she mentioned that she was out in the rain just yesterday and a car aquaplaned, which worried me. So we shared a bit of discussion around what needs to be done in such circumstances. She was able to steer through it rather than panic, slam down the brakes and lose control of what, of course, then becomes a boat rather than a car. The other concern in tropical Queensland is don't get out of the car and walk in the flowing waters, because it's a real possibility that within those flowing waters are crocodiles. So we had a discussion about that. She is becoming somewhat experienced in these conditions, so I do trust her to make very, very good decisions. But of course, being her dad, I do worry, and we all worry. And our thoughts are well and truly with you. If you are in tropical Queensland, our thoughts are absolutely with you during this challenging time. I know you know what you're doing. I do. But it may help, I hope, to know that we are all thinking of you. And once again, the Lord will be there with you. Just a little prayer, and the Lord will be there with you, looking after you, sending his guardian angels toward you. So I hope that everyone can be safe on this Monday. I mean, we're so lucky here in Alice Springs. Very, very lucky. Being in the centre of Australia, we don't get a lot of tropical air. In fact, the air is very, very hot and dry at the moment, but it's not dangerous. And I'll tell you another thing we don't get. We don't get these absolute crazies that are causing all of this racial violence in pockets of particularly Sydney and Melbourne at the moment. Wow. Some of the behaviour that's going on is so non-Australian. It's not what we stand for. Some idiot yesterday thought it was a great idea to abuse and egg a number of Jewish women just going about being wonderful Jewish Australians. Well, he was arrested, I think, overnight, and good on Strike Force Pearl. They're doing a great job. I mean, there's absolutely no need for this behaviour. You absolutely can carry out any grievances you have peacefully, but violence of this nature, abusing people, egging people, all of these horrible words that are being written on buildings, defacing buildings and cars. This sort of behaviour is unbelievable. And there's absolutely no need for it. And Strike Force Pearl will get you. They'll get you, don't you worry. So it's best if you put away those feelings of hatred and get on with the rest of your life without the need for such behaviour. It will mean that you won't need to spend a night or nights behind bars, and you won't have a criminal conviction alongside your name, which will plague the rest of your life. But once again, I can say, touch wood, and I am right now, thus far we've had none of that behaviour here in Alice Springs. Absolute zero awareness of that sort of behaviour here in the Alice. We're a good, tight community here. And yes, we are multicultural, without a doubt. We have people from all over the world here, but I don't know of this sort of hatred going on. I don't. And I would assume that if there was, being a small community that we are, they would be arrested very, very quickly. So once again, a good reason to be right here in Alice Springs. The weather is safe and our community is, well, certainly safe from the sort of behaviour that we're hearing about on the news, the racial type behaviour that we're hearing about on the news. And in any case, if that's the sort of person you are, we don't want you here. We don't. We absolutely don't want you here. If you're coming here, come here and live in harmony like the rest of us. And put away your hatreds. Put them away entirely. Throw them in the bin. Never ever to surface again. Yeah, that's what I say, and I hope that parents in Sydney and Melbourne can get this message across well and truly to their young ones, boys or girls. Rather than flaming the fans of hatred, snub those flames out. Smother them right now. Smother them right now with love and caring for your fellow human beings and just understanding that that sort of behaviour is not the sort of behaviour that we tolerate in this country. We don't. And unfortunately, and I'm not sure exactly why, unfortunately it is taking hold in pockets of Sydney and Melbourne, and it's disgraceful. It's so not what this country is about. It's so not what this country is about, and we certainly don't want to in any way countenance this sort of behaviour in the future. Not now, not ever. That's why Australia has become, and has been for some time, a country that's regarded as the best in the world. It's because we don't have and we don't tolerate, hatred toward one another just because of your religion or the colour of your skin. No, we don't. We have people here from all over the world, and we welcome them, do we not? Yes, we do. And we should. Those that have come through the right channels in particular, we should regard as an equal. And I dismayed at what's going on. And once again, I feel blessed to be living here in Alice Springs, away from all of that sort of incredibly nasty behaviour. Yeah, I do feel blessed. Now, don't get me wrong. Alice Springs has its own issues. Yes, we do. But I think, when it comes to feeling comfortable and feeling safe, whether it be from the weather or the sort of behaviour that I've just outlined, I think we certainly are doing extraordinarily well, all things considered. Okay, folks, I believe, in fact, I think I even know that this has been episode 1230. It's been a Blind Magic Communications production.